Okay, I'm going to do some more work with the Gelli Plate. And sometimes when you're done printing, you'll have little areas of dried clumps of paint. And it's fun to just leave those and then roll on another color and pull a print, and you'll have these remnants show up. So I had these yellow dried paint, and then I used, where did I put it? It was that floral netting that we've been playing with, and I sponged in some paint and let that dry. And now I'm going to take, actually I'm going to change color. I want a lighter color, thinking I want this darker paint to show up. So I'm going to go with a light phthalo blue. And I'm going to move kind of quickly. So I think I'll pass on adding the extender or the retarding agent. Okay, there we go. I'm going to move quickly here. And there's lots of videos on YouTube about doing this. It worked quite nicely for me yesterday. Fingers crossed it's going to work today. Okay, so I covered that. Then I'm going to put my paper. And Sarah said, leave it for a little bit to, I guess, to absorb and get that paint to adhere. I'm going to use my scraper because I don't have all the time in the world to let this sit there and dry. Okay, yep, I think it's working. There we go. Okay, so this is what I got. You can see all the stencil work. Now this other paint is so thick, it's still staying on the Gelli Plate. So I could do more, but I'm not right now. So that's that idea. Okay, the next one that I saw a student do last night doesn't involve the brayer. I'm just going to directly brush on here and then use some stencils. And I'm going to go with this, a high flow, I think it's a high flow acrylic, and just do some gestural marks, maybe even some splatter here. Then I'll go some thicker paint. Okay, then I'm going to use these little shipping label tags as my stencil to mask off certain areas, kind of like Barbara did with her paper clips. This is a thinner paper. I'm not sure what it is. I just grabbed it. See the ink going through. Okay, so I get something like that. And then the cool thing is these little tags pick up ink, and I could use that as collage material, or I could actually use those as gift tags, like, ooh, I like that one. Okay, now I still have paint on here. Now, let's see, I am going to use that floral mesh, and I'm going to do some sponging with my makeup sponge. I'm going to go, let's see. So I have so many choices here. Like I could use this, and I could if it was a canvas, I could directly paint on there. I'm just going to do some more printing. Actually, stenciling printing. Okay, makeup sponge. Okay, now it would be ideal if I had that registration tool, but I don't, so I'm going to eyeball this. Okay, so there's another layer, and I could keep going if I want. I've got more dried paint on there, so I could pull another one. I'll do one more. I'm gonna go yellow. The paint probably isn't as dry as it should be.
Laura, if the paint is dry already on the Gelli Plate and you pull another print, how does a dry paint transfer to the next print?
Well, what's happening is this wet paint is adhering to the dried paint, and it's pulling it up. But I think what Sarah found is waiting a little bit longer. I'm guessing that the wet paint forms a better adhesion and you get more of it up. But, you know, I'm on the clock, so I'm not waiting as long. I'm using my scraper. You know, it's a little strange, but yeah, this yellow paint is sticking to the dried paint and pulling it up. Yeah, see that paint down there is that old paint could probably use more time for the wet paint to pull it up.
So it actually reliquefies what has already dried?
I don't think it reliquefies. I think it just sticks to it and grabs on. But what's great about this process is it's a bit random, and it kind of has an old look, like maybe a distressed wall or something. So that's interesting. I could use that as a background for something. Okay, now I'm going to pull a print and do the ghost print thing so you can see what that looks like, Frank. Hang on, gotta find my. I'm gonna go with Van Dyke Brown here. Okay, I'm going to use this netting that I like, that I got at Michael's craft store. Okay, so this is going to be, this will be print 1. And it's a little, I'm having to use a lot of pressure because this netting is springy. Okay, so this is, I think I got it all. This is print 1. To me, this second one is the one that's really interesting because I've got more value, more shadow. It appears more like the real object. And this is the ghost print. Way more interesting to me than number 1. Number 1, it's just more graphic. Depends on what look you like.